What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Mighty Crafts. Today we're going to be making a Halo Wars Locust, which I thought this vehicle was super fun to play in Halo Wars, so I thought I would make it today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy. Alright, so for the Scarab piece, the Locust, I want to start with the legs first. I think the legs are a very important part on this. So I made the little decal. I'm going to cut it out. We're going to make 4 of these, and then we'll start piecing it all together. But I think starting with the legs is going to be really helpful. This is a shape that I decided for the legs. I think adding this little extra groove in there makes it look a lot closer to the one in the game. I was having a hard time kind of figuring out how this was going to look the same, considering it looked like this, but now that I do, I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to cut out 4 of these, and then we'll get on to the next part. So I finished cutting out all 4 of the leg pieces, and I also beveled the edges to make them look a little better. And now I made these small pieces of styrofoam bricks, and I'm just going to glue them on like that. Printed out what I think is going to be the idea for the body. You can kind of attach the legs to the side and get the shape that you want, but I think this is a good kind of size. I didn't mimic it perfectly per each side. I might just cut off one and flip it over and do that. So we'll see. I'm gonna cut out this piece and see how I feel about it. We're going to go around right there. And I might have to shorten up these nubs a little bit. I just kind of put them on there for idea's sake and kind of give me a better visual picture, and I'll probably have to shorten them up, but I like how I think this piece is gonna work just fine. So I'm gonna make another one, put it on top of the other one, and then we'll get to the next part. Now that we have the extended base piece done, the legs done, we're gonna be working on the head now. And the head of this piece is kind of like a banshee. And it's basically just a circle that comes back up, and then that's really all it is. Then that goes right on top. It's gonna work like that. So I'm gonna cut this piece out, and then we'll have the main pieces for this build already done. I finished the top piece roughly. I had to sand it, but this piece that we made earlier, I want to take out the inside of it on both sides and also leave the back pretty full. We're just going to kind of take out this inside middle gap. We have this burrowed out a little bit more and the edge beveled. There's this big spike piece that comes up on the front of it. So I'm going to take out there we go. So that's going to go in front, and then this headpiece is going to go right up above that. So now we have this piece glued in. I want to make more detail on this leg piece, and what I see is a piece that's open but like cut. So all I did was take one of these, which is a small piece of foam, and then I did angle cuts in it to take out the inside, and now I'm gonna cut to about this big, kind of hard to see, and then also cut a little bit off the top because I went pretty deep, so it kind of looks like this. I'm gonna attach this piece on like that, and then bevel it. Okay, put on each one of these pieces to the legs, and then I also put on another piece back here. It's pretty simple. It's just one cut here, one cut on top, one cut on the back. Very small little piece. And then I also beveled the edge all the way around this piece from the first block on top to the second block on the bottom, and I went from straight to in onto the first piece. So now I need to make circle, almost discs, to go on the end of each one of these. So how I'm gonna do that is by taking this piece of styrofoam and cutting it about this big. Just decent size. And then doing the same thing I did for my log builds. So if you make a tree or a log, you basically just cut it in a circle and then you roll it. And that's pretty much it. So those are gonna be my circle discs, and I'm gonna attach 2 to each side of the legs here. So I just finished up putting each one of these pieces on the legs, and I think that adds a lot of detail and adds a lot more depth. But this piece is actually a little bit too thick on the sides, so I'm gonna take the knife and I'm just gonna kinda form. That looks a little bit better to me. I still have to sand it, but that kind of fits the profile just a little bit more. So now on the back of this piece, there's like 2 tanks here. And I'm gonna assume that they're kind of like plasma tanks or fuel rod tanks or something like that. So I did the same thing that I did for these, but I literally just cut the same piece smaller. I'm gonna cut it into 4 pieces, 4. And then I'm gonna put 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and then have a hot glue stick piece in the middle. All right, so I'm not gonna add these 2 pieces yet, but they do go right there, and I think they look pretty good. One's way taller than the other, so I'll fix that, but I think they look pretty good. I'm gonna sandpaper this whole thing and this and all these pieces first, and then we'll add this. I just finished sanding all these pieces, and just doing the slight little sandpaper really makes a big difference on these pieces and just makes them look way smoother. Notice when you are sanding, and I use a super fine grit. I don't know what grit it is. I've had it for a couple years now, and I forget what grit it is, but you can make these little holes, and that's not a big deal. Like, you could fill it up with some kind of putty if you really wanted to. I'm not going to, but just be a little careful when you're doing it, not to rub it too hard. Really take your time, and it doesn't take that much to really make foam look smooth. So now I think I'm gonna attach each one of these pieces where I want the legs to go, and we're gonna start to see how this thing kind of looks. So the legs just got on there, and I think they look really good. And now I need to make, I made this piece that's gonna fit in between this gap right here and keep the head above. So all I did was I just laid this flat, put a piece of SPF foam over it, traced it out, and then cut it to size. And now this piece is going to fit right in there. And then this is gonna go on top, and that's gonna be our locust right there. Whew, this thing's starting to look pretty good. I like how this thing's turning out. Now what I'm gonna do is make some filler right here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put there yet. I'm gonna look at the reference pictures and then start adding small details all around this piece to kind of give it more shape. All right, so I put on the back to tanks. I did some extra side work right here and a little bit on the back to kind of make this piece look a little bit more full in that area. And then I also, I don't know if you can tell, but I did some engraving on the legs. So here's a regular leg, and here's the engraved leg. And I think the engraved leg looks really, really good. I'm gonna do that on all the legs and a lot of the parts of the body. And how you do this, and the reason I'm not gonna show it on camera is because it's really, really hard to kind of show on camera and do. With a piece like this, is you just take your knife and you figure out where you wanna put the engrave. You trace along it, and then you take a mechanical pencil or anything with a sharp point. You have the lead come out, and then you use the lead piece and you just score it. And it makes these really nice detailed lines, and I'm gonna do that to the whole piece, and I think it's gonna make this thing just pop. All right, so I got done with all of the edge detailing, and it made this piece look way, way better. This locust actually looks really good. I am very happy with it. There's some parts I messed up on, but I haven't done really any edge detailing like this in a long time to this scale. So, I mean, just the legs look really good. And I don't know, I'm very happy with this piece so far. And if you look at the front, I did some on the front. Oh, it just looks super great. So if you want to have a piece like this and you want to do something like this, definitely do some edge detailing. It just makes this thing pop out way more. So I'm gonna give it my normal coat of black paint, and then we'll go probably into a traditional kind of purple, covenant purple, and then a blue, and we'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna hit it with a black coat. So I finished basing everything in black, and now I'm going to hit it with this dark purple for the covenant colors. All right, so I got done with the purple base coat, and I also made this weird little laser beam thing to put in front of it. This is optional, obviously. Don't have to make it if you don't want to. I just thought it's kind of cool. If you want to know how I made it, just put the comment section down below and I can make something on it sometime. Now I'm going to be doing the gray outlines on these joints and a few other pieces that I see in the picture. And then we're going to do a little bit of blue marking, and this thing's basically done. Alright guys, so I just got done with the Locust and this weird, and the beam that I made. Now, I made this off camera just because it's just hot glue sticks. Like 3 hot glue sticks, 1 cut up, and then painted on blue. It's super simple. And it's just kind of like a little thing that I want to do on the side. Didn't really matter too much. But the Locust, I think, turned out really good. I did a lot of off-camera painting. I did the dry brushing off camera, and I did a lot of the gray parts off camera. I added some blue on the back pieces here and on the side, and then also on the eyes. All in all, I think this thing turned out really good and really great. If you want to see more Halo stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed. I have a ton more videos. I think I'm going to start doing some more kind of stuff like this, away from my whole D&D kind of stuff. So if you enjoyed, thank you so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.